got the dragon's tail, landing ramps, we got the jumping ramps, we got the berms on that side, we have a berm on this side, we have the wall ride, which we already discussed on that one. Tabletop we discussed. So it's been a while since I made a video out here. It has been raining since, man, probably December, Christmas round. It's been several months, almost every weekend, every other weekend it's been raining out here, so I haven't been able to make any videos. I did have a chance to redo this side over here to make it into another a better structured berm, very similar to that side. This side's a little bit sturdier though. So I just want to kind of give you some quick ideas on how to build a track and, you know, what steps I had to go through in order to get this done. So one of the main things is I had to try to create a track that was in some way water resistant, I wouldn't say waterproof, but just water resistant in some way. So what I tried to do down here is I tried to use just car wheel chocks, and those are located, so this one's a bigger one. So this is located one here, two. There's one right here, there's one right here, there's one right here, and there's one right there. The bigger one does have a little bit more width to it, so it does allow you to give a better structure of the actual jump itself. Now, not all the jumps are completely like firm, and I did that for a reason, to try to give it like a more of an effect of what a dirt jump would feel like. So all these are, I have 17, I think it's 17 or 18 jumps that I built total. Each one has a different trajectory, different angle, because I wasn't sure what was going to work, so I had to kind of trial and error it. Each one was designed to be a certain specific width. This is 8 feet. Each carpet tile is 2 feet, and each jump is convertible from 6 to 8 feet. And that gives me a chance to, earthworms, gross. That gives me a chance to modify the track and shorten lanes, make lanes bigger, depending on certain areas. Like this area right here, this is probably about 10 feet right here, but it gives me a chance to take a wide turn out and dip back in on this side over here. So not every spot of the course is exactly 6 and 8, uniform throughout. So just depending on how like the top speed is coming over here, you kind of need that extra little to make it in here. So an idea of how I built this, these are modules. Each section is a module, and this one right here is the first half of it. What this does, it literally just comes up. This one's a little stool on its own, and this one I can't pull up right now because I added screws to keep the carpet from pulling up, but this one also just literally pulls back, and that one's its own piece. So this piece right here looks like that. It's just angled in a certain direction and it's longer, and this is the only one that's actually the middle is a table. So the problem that I was having just through years of having the track is there's no drain. That I didn't think about it, but there's no drain in this flat area right here for the water when it rains where it sits. That's why it's dipping right there, because when a car lands in that area, when it's still kind of moist, it takes like several days for it to dry. It just kind of presses down on it just a little bit more, and eventually gets to the point where it wants to break. So let's put that back. So you're actually looking at, underneath there's 2 doors, and those are like industrial doors, like restroom doors. Those are on the floor, and I happened to get also like a cabinet that a company was they were just throwing the stuff away. All I had to do is go and just take everything apart, and it gave me the extra wood that I have here, and that's what I use to make my little berm. These are basically just a piece of wood cut, and you can kind of see that form right there. I try to make it so they were in some way portable. So there was a couple design flaws that I didn't look into in the future, which basically would give it more structure, strength. I needed to combine these two like towards the middle, so there was a more strength, a reinforcement, like a bracket. What I tried to do is, see that, but I tried to do something where it was still there, but kind of tucked away. That way I could stack jumps on top of them, so when I was moving jumps to an event or something like that, it would be easier. That was a mistake. That was something that I probably shouldn't have did. This is my wall ride, which I haven't really seen this anywhere. I just created it on my own idea, just almost like a berm that has to elevate in order to get past it. So obviously you can't cut right here. You have to go up into the wall in order to, you know, and it doesn't matter where in the wall, but you just have to get up in the wall to come out of it. And let me tell you actually what these are. These two pieces behind are the same as those, and those are bed frames. I believe that one might be a twin, and I believe these are full, and they're folding bed frames, just something old school. They're like 20-30 bucks. So what I had to do is I just took them, stood them up, used the 8x4 just piece of, you know, thin flexible wood, got the structure of the two sides, and then the middle I had to figure out how to actually create its own patch. And that way, so in theory, basically this is one piece with a patch in the middle. And again, this was designed to be portable, but just through time I realized, you know, I really don't want to take it out of here. If anything, I would want to just build another track. So originally I had it to here, and that was the first part of it, and I realized, like, in order to get two cars in here, that's not going to work. So I had to extend another 2 feet up, and that makes it so you can come in different angles, whether it's coming as a V, coming out as a U, or, you know, however you want to cheat it. But there's some cool like kind of patterns that you can kind of get in and out with this wall ride. So same thing with all the jumps. All the jumps are chocks, wheel chocks, and they're different size wheel chocks. And I had to add pieces of carpet and wood on the front part of it in order to get the trajectory that I needed towards the end. One of the things that I also figured out, I think it's definitely better to have a ridged edge compared to a folded edge. What the folded edge does, unless you fold so much where it creases, it pushes up a center mark right here, and that's probably a reason why I'm having a problem with that jump, because it's not uniforming exactly straight. So from this angle you could kind of see it, but that's kind of the reason why I'm having an issue with that. Again, this is another bed frame. That's all it is. It's just there's metal pieces on the bottom that are metal rods to keep it strong. So I only have 3. I probably should use 4. But just through time, again, just like that one over here, the rain will drain on top here, and it has no place to puddle. So what will happen, the wood that I used here actually started to bubble underneath. I had to flip it over, drill some holes, that way it has a spot to drain. And along with that, you know, it does give it some type of a valleyness to it, which is kind of cool. But if you're using just wood as a support, it's not going to work. It has to be metal. The conditioning of the weather and all that stuff is going to affect it and damage it. So over to the wall. This wall took me some time to build, and I wasn't sure exactly how to do it. I wasn't sure the angle. I wasn't sure how I was going to get this entire wall together by myself and put it here. So in order to do this, what I had to do was there's 2 of the wood pieces that I use here. So there's 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's technically 6 altogether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 6 pieces as one large wall. And then I have another large wall right here. So what I had to do is basically get the pieces of wood, reinforce them on the back, and find out, make sure it was the right strength, angle, and everything, and then set one piece in. And then I had to make another piece over here to do the same. And then after that, I had to literally build another ramp, like any of these, to actually shoot up into the wall, which the carpet does cover. So it's not just a straight wall, it's actually a wall with a ramp down here that I had to build to give it that correct, like, motion up without, like, so choppy. So we got the dragon's tail, landing ramps, we got the jumping ramps, we got the berms on that side, we have a berm on this side, we have the wall ride, which we already discussed on that one. Tabletop we discussed. The rising wall, that one's a cool one. That one's like, I think it's like 10, like 8 to 10 feet. It was kind of hard for me to do by myself to physically get it in there and then try to line everything up perfectly. So, not gonna lie, that was probably one of the hardest things I had to do. This right here, step up, step off, this actually is a ping pong table. And I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do a tabletop. So looking into what a ping pong table was, the two halves, this is only just one half. And I think it's like a Tioga. Not sure the name of it, but it's the, well, you know, the one name brand that everyone knows. So what's interesting about these is that the ping pong tables actually have a little angle in them naturally. And I could have used the two halves as two step up, step offs. The problem that I was having is I didn't want it to be exactly the same thing on this side over here. I wanted to have something different. So I did try to do the best I could to make a step up, step off. And what we're looking at here is the ping pong table. Two pieces of the same wood. There's also two pieces of the same wood. This side's going to be harder because you have to get the angle this way, and you have to be able to have a bottom and top. That way your cart can drive up. This one was the easier side because you just matched up where you need it. This side's going to be a little bit more complicated. PVC pipe. I just use 1-inch PVC pipe all the way around. And pool noodles. Pool noodles I get from the dollar store, 99-cent store. I only had them on the track on the actual piping itself, but it's actually becoming more of a distraction when you get stuck on them or, you know, have to work around them. So what I use them for now is actually turns and bends. I'll put another PVC pipe, which is, I don't know, like 1/2 inch I think it is. Those are very flexible. I put the PVC in through them, and then that gives me the flexibility to adjust whatever angle I need and the different spots of the track. And it gives cushion. It also protects the car a little bit from shooting up into different areas. I use it here for high speed oh shit moments. I probably need one right there. That's probably my nemesis corner right there. I'm trying to go full speed and not seeing the angle that I'm going at and just launching it into that. It's bad. I think I've broken 2 mini Bs. I haven't broken any LCs on it, but I've hit hard on those. So how about lighting? Lighting, I'm just using off of Amazon. And these are just solar lights. They've been here for about a year now. That one's been rained on apparently. But I use two different ones. One's more of a solar non-sensor, just the on-off 3 modes. And then I also have motion lights. The motion lights was a good idea at first, but it doesn't pick up the movement of the car. So it would actually have to have like a physical body movement. And to have them all at one time, it would be better just to have a light that just stays on without motion. These are, I have one of these in front for just security, but I actually put one back here. This is probably one of my favorite lights to use. They're not very expensive. They normally come in packs of 2. And that one has different modulation angles, and what you can actually do, you only need like one, like I would say like 2 or 3, and it lights up this entire thing. I think the other modules I have that are just solar makes the track look good as like a visual effect, but lighting, like actual like brightness, this would be the way that I would definitely go on that. Plexiglass, that's another good thing to get. I think I'm going to I have plexiglass over here, so what I'm probably going to do, I'm probably going to use that plexiglass on the face of each jump to get rid of the wood and to limit and minimize all the bad just from the water. Obviously, you know, the wood's going to get damaged, so they do dry, but they do lose shape and like kind of create little valleys here and there. So if you notice, it's not completely flat. Everything when I first started this was like a perfect jump. There was no There was no imperfections on almost every jump, but just due time, rain, driving, it does happen. Do have quite a bit of jumps. I have put some time into making the jumps. I just don't have the room to use them all. So at a time, I probably only use like 3 to 4, and just depending on how the trajectory I need to land in certain spots. So some of these are really big jumps, and I could probably use them here, but it's not enough room to actually really get the full effect of them. I think that's pretty much it. Driver stand, you know, just tables. So just to give you an idea, everything that I pretty much used to purchase this track was not very expensive. I can't say it was free, but a lot of things were free. Carpet I did spend money on. It was I don't know, like $100 for a crazy amount of pieces. You'll find people that actually have done a job and have leftovers, and that's the carpet. Different types of carpet also. And this one is like the Shaw waterproof, which is like a rubber on the bottom. And then there's also other types of carpet which are not waterproof. They work good too, but I think the waterproof ones are a low profile from what I've seen. Not all of them, but most of them. So like this one right here, this isn't exactly a low profile, but it is waterproof because of the plastic. And this one is not waterproof. So just showing you the difference between what they look like. This is almost like a very similar to what this is. I'm not even sure what kind of, there's no plastic here. So this is almost like the same material that's on this side, just not as reinforced for actual waterproofing. Hope this can get some of you guys started on your own little track in the backyard, front yard, park, whatever it might be. This didn't take a lot of money, but it did take a lot of patience to get everything dialed in. So I do hope some of you guys are able to build something similar. The reason why I did this is try to get minis back in the realm of being raced and not spending, you know, thousands of dollars on a race vehicle when you just want to just have fun. So that's pretty much it on this right here, this for the track. And I will show you some other things that I've done also on each jump when I start to take them apart.